Patricia.
Patricia,
I feel like we should be doing Friday today.
No. I know the level that you are. So we're not taking Wednesday for Friday. Welcome to the boss.
Did you say that?
It's a Wednesday afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the bus. It's not Friday, it's Wednesday. Thank you for joining us on the bus this afternoon. Blossom and I are going to spoil you with the trending stories.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to spoil you. And of course, we have our guest seated, pretty, handsome, on the seat. So I'm going to start, not from my far right, I'm going to start from my near right. We have Nuruddin Adegbe. It's good to have you, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to our viewers. You know, I'm a perfect gentleman. But I'm always shy when I want to talk. So that's the reason why.
No way. We know you. Well, go on.
Well, good afternoon, Nigerians, wherever you are watching us from. And, well, irrespective of any political buhaha, let us just calm down. Let us calm down, hard more work, and with the little that we have, let's do something.
Okay, so yes, we have another guest. You already see him pretty well. Patricia was trying to handsome. You already said something. We need to bring this business to Mr. Shogito.
Yes. We're going to talk about that after the show.
Yeah. It keeps smiling. I wish she was a lady. I will you know. But anyways, we have Shegun Shogito in the house, of course. We know him as a financial expert, just as we know him as a very good public analyst, and they are the voice of the people. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here as always. Great time to be alive.
Yes.
Don't take that for granted. Good afternoon to all viewers.
Yes. So you're welcome again. Well, Patricia, what's the first story for today? What are we eating?
I think we're going to catch the flight to Delta City. Which airline are we using? I don't know. But we are catching the flight to Delta State right now. So the Delta State Police Command has warned residents of indecent dressing. The Delta State Police Command has warned residents that indecent dressing will attract penalties under the state's Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law. The command issued the warning in a post shared via its X handle on Saturday with the caption, "There are some laws that you don't know the state frowns against." So every weekend we will be dropping some of these laws so that you will be aware. According to the post, individuals found guilty of indecent dressing risk fine of 50,000 or a sentence of community service. The statement said, "As you no like wear clothes, you cover your body well. You no like wear clothes where they cover your body well, and you prefer the waka go work, school or anywhere with clothes where they show everywhere for your body. Make you hear them. Delta State government no dey smile for that kind of dressing. Wow."
That's very deep.
You're not done ready to punish anybody who dress well. We will dress well. To continue with, anyway, it continues. If you want to continue to read, you could then click the link.
I'll start with Adegbe. So, sir, now, I know there are a lot of things happening in the country, and somehow we'll say this is not what they should focus on. But let's be honest, we have brought even people who are religious, like religious head, affairs, pastors, and they've all condemned this dressing. Even in school, we discussed about that, Patricia, last week. Last week. Like people that are coming for examination are not wearing bra, but they are wearing a polo and they want to write exams. It's distracting. And a lot of men, of course, had things to say like, it's distracting, or even the villager is distracting. But honestly, 50,000 naira and looking out for ladies who do not wear things, I feel it's a good deal, but I feel that the ladies who they are targeting now are even at risk. Because for me, growing up as a child, what I heard is the police is for the rich. You have a problem, they settle you because they know you have money. But you have a problem, somebody raping your house and you don't have the money. When you go there, they even hijack you, they keep you in cell, somehow the gangs, and they rape you even in cell. The police people even do that. Now that's a childhood story that with time and information was erased. So what could they actually do? Because let's leave these morals for who should treat the morals, which is the society. What do you think about it?
The first thing there is this. Where you don't want me to start is what I'm going to start with.
Okay. Please start.
Out of all the problem we have, it is not a jamming problem. How much has Delta State government tackled poverty in Delta State? How much have they fought unemployment? One of their youths that could not get job. That one is one. Then on the issue of this, I will look at it from the angle of the law. See, before you call something obscenity, you will define in the court of law.
Yeah.
What is obscene to you may not be obscene to me.
Of course, yeah.
And Delta State Governor and the Attorney General of that state should understand one thing. We have penal code in the north, we have criminal code in the south.
Yeah.
Part of the criminal code, the issue of obscenity that they are bringing on is not part of it. And obscenity that you are talking about must be fight from the civil angle. That means if I see something obscene from you and distracting me, I can sue you. Now, they will not try to, what they've done is this. They don't make it from the ethics of that state, the law of that particular state, to be using it now. What it means is this. If you charge anybody, and that person appeal it to the upper court, away from your jurisdiction, it's going to be very difficult for you to prove it. You are going to be very difficult because you are going to need some certain witnesses. Because what is obscene for those who that goes to club now, what is obscene to them may not be obscene to me.
Obviously.
You understand now? Yeah. So, but that does not mean that we should forget our norms, culture. No. Don't bring the issue of religion, whatever, because they are part of the people that put us into this. In the name of rebranding, yes. But that does not mean we should allow our youth to be walked nakedly. But I just want a situation in which this kind of law should not be used to target that anybody they want to, just the way they are using cyberbullying, just the way they are using cyber stacking, as if the law has not been there before they amended it. They don't want to be using it any whatever. They may say, okay, if some students protest now, they'll say they are obscene and they'll use that law. We don't want a situation like that. Another thing again is that instead of that if you really want to work on that, maybe in your state it has become a calamity, what we'll have done is community service. If you really want to, don't put any option. Community service. You are going to sweep your school. If it's a student, you don't need to go away from the school. That school that you are going, sweep the compound or a particular portion of that compound of that school for 2 weeks. So if you are a tertiary institution, maybe you are in Delta State University, you are studying economics, and you are offended in your school, in your department, you will sweep, they will be seeing you for 2 weeks. You understand now? Yeah. Or in your area, if that person is an artisan. So if you are really serious, because one thing there is this. What is going to, when they make law, what normally make me unhappy is this. The children of the poor are going to serve it. But children of the rich will not wait. Okay, if the children of the governor should fall into everything, who is the person that will prosecute the children of the governor or children of the speaker of the House of Assembly in that state? What of the one of the big men? And that is the thing. But that does not mean we should allow. I know our religious leaders need to do much. They need to do beyond what they are doing.
Of course.
They need to do, either Muslim, Christian, traditional, they need to do. And our parents. And our parents need to do more. But I think this particular law, if it's going to be well followed, and you want to do it because you want to change, put community service, no option or fine. But one thing there is that they must not use it to target. Because one thing, or we shunt some certain youth in that particular because I know the thinking of the politician.
Thank you so much. In fact, you just say what I had in my mind, but because I'm a presenter, I won't be able to say it. Anyway, Mr. Shegun, I saw a trending video of a young guy who had finished from that school. I think OAU or something. I don't know if any of you saw the video.
Yeah.
He wanted to get into the school, and then because of his haircut, they didn't let him enter the school. And the haircut wasn't bad, if you ask me. Now, coming back to Delta State and the law that they are just passed, like he said, do you think, like he said, community service would have been the best way rather than fine? There shouldn't be option.
Let us ask.
Or do you think, yes, I'm talking to Mr. Shegun here, or do you think like they did not allow that guy to enter the school when you're dressing indecently. The places you will not be allowed.
He doesn't look indecent anyway.
It didn't look indecent, but I mean, I'm just using that to ask him the question.
I think that video that you reference is a perfect example of what is wrong with all of this, you know. And I always say that we have fundamental issues in this country with regards to how our politicians see their role in society, with regards to their understanding of how society functions. As a political leader, as a governor, as a local government chairman, whatever you are, you are simply a leader. First amongst equals. You are just like any other Nigerian. You are just privileged to have the opportunity to serve. But for majority of them, they see themselves as rulers. They see themselves as emperors. They see themselves as a god, you know, who can do and undo. They believe that they can kill. They have the power of life and death. In literal terms, why would any politician venture into the question of dressing and morality? How is it their business? What has that got to do with the price of Gary? Because really, at the end of the day, your job as a government is to provide the enabling environment to enable people to thrive and express their potential. So that as we are all individually expressing our potential, our country rises and develops. And that video that you speak about, you know, I just ran into it randomly this morning, and I was just wondering in my mind, what's wrong with us in this country? Because that boy was actually well dressed. Well dressed. His hair was very well combed.
Very well.
Nice little people. Very small. When the hair is, I won't even call it afro. No, it was just a full, just his hair was just a little bit fuller. Yes, just a little fuller. It wasn't afro. Yes, and it was well combed. There was nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with how that guy was dressed, and yet they didn't allow him to enter
the school. Yes,
to the Yaba premises. You know, so obviously there was something else at play between him and the security guard. It was something else. It was personal. Because in fact, the guy was now going around and videoing people that this one just came out. This one is just doing it. Maybe of that one I think it must have been something deeper. I think they had the person now.
Really?
Because
but that security guy must have some balls, because for you to be able to
that they are going to beat him up. Now the point is this: the same way that a security guard in some random place can decide. And meanwhile, there's no such rule, there's no such law yet. Imagine now enacting a law like that powers law enforcement and all of that. Before you're in trouble. You must call government. Do you understand? So for me, it's a complete misplacement of priorities. Just like you were saying, who defines decent dressing and indecent?
It's a society, I feel.
It's a society. And the only people that can also enforce it is society.
Of course.
So if I go to Kano, look, I served in the north, and we had, you know, fellow Christian sisters. Who was in the north. Nobody taught you that
how to dress. You don't know now. You see the dressing. You see the
girls that came with us from Lagos who are used to wearing very skinny mini skirts. They didn't do it. They didn't do it because, you know, if you just try it, they would have heard stories of how small children will follow you with stones.
Of course.
Do you understand? You comport yourself. Why would you enact a law that talks about indecent dressing with punishment? It is unthinkable, and it just shows that these guys, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know why they're there. They completely lost focus and direction. And they are mostly somebody that will charge them for that.
Exactly.
You know, this is coming from a state that has serious insecurity problems.
This is coming from
so you can see why this is rampant.
The amount of the revenue potential that exists in that state, compare that with the level of development, it is a shame that is what this is what they have in mind to be talking about.
It's
and in addition to it, I think we will be telling our politicians, either you are a councillor, you are a local government chairman, House of Assembly member, you are a governor, House of Rep, now Senate, and you are the president. does not mean you are more Nigerians than the other people. So whatever you want to do as part of your responsibility, you must put other people into consideration. Because one thing there is, so stylishly, what you are saying is that those people that are going to club should not go to club.
Nonsense.
Because okay, that is what they are telling some people. And there are some, I do tell some certain people, come. Politicians normally lie to us that Nigeria is a secular state. It's a wrong. We are multi-religious state. We are not secular. That is religion. Don't let us deceive ourselves. But it's multi-religion. And at the same time, we must make sure they're supposed to be targeting of peace. They should be targeting the parents. They should be targeting the religious body.
Yes.
That they should assist them.
Targeting the schools.
Schools. So, this is the same Delta state. If Zazu is coming to that state to perform.
So why is this Zazu?
No, I'm just giving an
example.
So, if he's coming, and the same will happen, if Zazu wants to come and play in one of the students' week, they ask him to buy his every they don't know the importance of law. Because when you make law, you don't give relation for anybody. Anybody that concern. Yes. But the situation, we should not allow some certain people. Although to me, I believe there are some certain areas that our youth need to be cautious. But you can only do that in a way that will be robust. Not that you are going to be targeting. Before you know it now, you will see some certain schools in Delta State, either Polytechnic University. They will make it a part of their rule. Now, they may say, even if you don't put those caps on top of your head.
I heard.
You know what I'm saying? Because ordinarily, for instance now, if I am a girl and I cannot afford a belt, you know there are some certain people they squeeze themselves to go to school. What are you not able to say? Or another thing again is I told some certain people when I was in school, I have those 3 trousers, 2 shirts, and 1 jalamia. Yes.
You have jalamia.
Yes, that's what I used when I was in school. That's what I can afford. I use all my money to buy books.
Oh.
So you will not tell me that I must put on one dress. Even when they said they have corporate day in my department, I went to my HOD. It will not work for me. It will work.
I don't have corporate.
I don't have. The only time I want to buy suit is when I'm going to present because we have corporate sector. And that one I will go and rent suit. And luckily for me, I bought one. And that's what I used to have. So because one thing there is that some certain children going to school and they don't have money. Yes. Okay, they won't fend for themselves. You don't want them to pay their courses like that.
A lot of them.
And the Delta State should make a law. Any graduate that is indigenous of Delta State should get job. They should check it. Now they check it organization that they must be what they're already out of school children in Delta State. Out from certain secondary school is far away. For some schools in the riverine area, they should be able to provide water. As much as it's a delta that is surrounded by water, they don't have water. They should try to make a law that is a must. State government will produce water for all and sundry. All this kind of law is what they should be, not this particular one. They should leave it for church and mosques to deal with and their parents.
So from you, it's a no. What you get?
It's against the government.
How about you?
No, I mean it's like we've already said, it's ridiculous. And it's just a symptom of the problem. Look, it's not just Delta State. I mean, which other state was it? Bauchi or
that was lying to you?
That told policemen that if you catch them with
shave it off, yeah.
But the governor later turned around.
Somewhere in the east, I think it was anybody also. There was a local government chairman that was going around with a megaphone announcing that they were.
If I'm in that state, I want one local government chairman and one state official to now bow the hair of my own children. That is they make me more rich. But I will not sue him alone. I will sue the government.
Anyway,
it's a no-no.
It's a no-no for the good of you. Wow. And Blossom, is it a no-no for you?
It's a no-no, actually.
Wow.
That's
don't mean that we against obscenity. No,
we are actually for modesty, value, culture.
Those people that know me deeper, they know even in my own class. When a girl, because I don't normally fall into that. In fact, I started last week too. If I see you with, you normally put on cap, you will know. I say, everybody remove your cap. You are out. It's my own class.
Why are you telling them out?
Not dressing decently.
You will see a girl. You know if you don't wear anything, you know if you doesn't wear anything. But for the fact that you come to my own class, my own rule. And before we start the class, the first thing I normally give before the course outline is my rule, my own class. You can do it in other classes, but in my own class, it's not compulsory you put on a elegant whatever. No. But at least pack yourself well. Don't try to seduce, because the issue of seduction is being rampant. So, and that's the reason why I said no. It's not, you can put on Ankara all the time. It does not concern me. I don't fear. But at least package yourself responsibly. Not a guy that will put on. I said no. I don't want in my own class. Not even the rule of the school. If the school wants, but in my own class as an associate lecturer that come and lecture you, this is what I want. But one thing there is this: when we want to do it, we should do it minding their fundamental human rights. And I call those girls as a cop. Don't think I'm hard on you. In my own, that is my own rule. And I'm not doing it because I'm a Muslim or Christian. No. Come back it, but next time I don't want it to be that. Because I discovered that when you want to stop something, it's not to kill the person. No. Punishment is not about that. And they've known me for that. That's why some certain things that lecturers normally angry at, I don't do. Student did not greet me in tertiary institution. You not take it as an offense. Is he here to come and greet me, or I should deliver my own lecture and go away? You don't even need to greet me outside. And I don't need to greet you. Yeah. My own is that when I get to my class, I deliver my lecture, you ask questions, and I do that. They're even silly questions. Ask me. You are paying your
that is why I always introduce you as a senior lecturer. You're not a teacher. You've graduated from teacher to being a lecturer. And being a lecturer is not easy. So when you are now a senior lecturer, it means that a child can actually misbehave and be stupid and be awkward. But it takes someone who's a senior lecturer, because if you're not that, you have to be much more either the VP. It means you have the culture of knowing how to correct a child without disrespecting the child or making the child feel like his value or his thoughts are relevant. You make it feel like, oh, your thoughts are relevant, but this is the best way to go. So I'm just saying that.
Anyway, thank you.
Yes, you will pay for it. You will pay for it.
So he's going to pay for it after the show, not right now. But anyways, back to Delta State. We're going to catch a flight to come back to Lagos. Okay. But before we do, we're talking to the Delta State government. They just say put laws that are very important for the state. This is a no. We're leaving this for the church, the schools, the family members, and the society to judge, not for the government. We have better things to deal with than to deal with indecent dressing. Anyway, we're coming back to Lagos. We're catching the flight now. Okay, we're landed. Anyway, back to Lagos. Here we have a police officer at Berger in West Lagos snatching a driver's plate number for pulling up to answer a call. We have the video. Let's watch the video.
This video is very important. Let's watch the video, Emmanuel.
Back, like we said, we're back to Lagos and we're in Berger. Anyway, Mr. Shegun, you saw the video. What exactly do you think the driver did wrong there for them to come and they want to hijack it? Because he was shouting, I'm a family man. I don't know how family man can.
And the worst part, which I need to ask, they took his plate number.
Yeah.
I don't think the police officer has that right.
So I think that we probably need a bit more detail to judge right. And when I say judge, I mean to discern and determine what was right or what was wrong on the part of both parties. Okay. Because we live in a society that ought to be a society of laws.
Oh, true.
Rules and regulations. There's a code of conduct. There are things you can do and things you can't do. As a driver, one of the things that you absolutely must not do, both for your safety and the safety of other road users, including pedestrians.
Yes,
you can't make phone calls while you're driving.
Yeah, true.
Right? If you must make phone call, use an earpiece.
No, they even arrest for earpiece.
No, look. That's you talk.
How do you do it?
Look, we're in a car together. You and I. You are sitting in my passenger seat.
Yeah.
Are we not going to converse?
We have to converse, yeah.
So the conversation on the phone is the same thing as my conversation with you.
No, I'm sorry to cut you there. I'm sorry. Conversation with me is different from your phone call. Oh. Conversation with me is a client. You are not personal.
What do you mean?
No, you can't go personal. You can't get agitated.
No.
Then you don't call the person a client again.
No. Whether it's a client, a non-client, family member, a dog, a goat, a cat.
Okay, why I'm saying this?
In a car with you, you are having a conversation with somebody in a car with you. Without looking back. You can't stop that.
I'm sorry. Well,
I
understand where you're coming. I'm so sorry to interject. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to clarify for the drivers, the riders. Now, we are driving. I'm a client. I'm in the car. You're talking to me. We can't get personal except I want you to get personal.
That's a different matter.
Okay, no, that's what I'm saying. But you see, a call that comes to your personal line or the line you put up, or I don't care, on your app, it means that person knows you or you are getting a ride. Now, you're getting a ride could be a normal conversation. But when you get conversation from your family members, it could be a bad omen. It could be anything. No, something could go wrong. That's why riders... No. That's why they tell policies that you don't pick personal calls while driving a client. I'm serious. It has
what you are talking about is a completely different matter. You are talking about ride versus rider and the relationship,
of course,
interaction between them, and the professionalism, propriety, or otherwise of that.
Yes,
that's a completely different matter. That's not my business. In this video now, that's not the issue.
Okay, yeah.
The issue in this video is that he was making a call.
Yes,
right, and he decided to park.
Yes,
which is the correct thing to do.
True.
For safety, public safety issues and for personal safety.
Very true.
If you are driving and making a call with your hand engaged on the device,
it
means that the hand is not available to control the car in case something happens. So you must park. However, the question is where did he park? That's why I say we don't have enough information. If he did not park in a no parking zone or in a no toll zone or whatever, there are different rules that guide where you can stay. Yes, if you stay in a bus stop or you go off to a side street where there is no the no parking rules don't exist, and then park and make your call. That's what I do. If I feel that this call is too much for me, I can't do it in my earpiece. I will park. And but when I'm parking, I'm also mindful of where I will park. Because if you're parking at this Lagos, now they will carry you. So for me, the point I'm making is that on the part of the driver, he must make sure that he doesn't pick calls while driving. With his hand engaged on a device. That's one. Two, he must park. Three, he must not park in the wrong place. Now, on the part of the police, if you are stopping a person that you say the person parked to pick a call, there's something wrong with you because that's what you should have done. So if the police is intervening, it must mean that you parked in the wrong place. Even if that now is the case, how do you enforce the law? The guy has broken a traffic regulation. What do you do? Are you allowed to impound? Are you allowed to arrest? Are you arresting his number plate? What has it got to do with the number plate? How would you remove number plate? In which part of regulation and enforcement does it stipulate that in case somebody commits an offense, remove his number plate or remove his tire? These are police will also do. So that's why I said we don't have enough information. But I think what we need to do is to guide ourselves by what is right and what is wrong as far as we are concerned as citizens and members of society, both on the law enforcement side and our part as citizens side.
Thank you very much for clarifying that. I just want to.
The major question to you
is why the number plate?
The number plate. Is it the number plate that was making call? I mean, was it the right thing to take the number plate?
Last week, yes, I was with the OC. I mean, the commandant in charge of police officers attached to last man in Lagos State. CSP Olaso Community, a complete gentleman, a police officer for excellence. And I witnessed some certain scenarios which the man was calling his officers for. See, number one, every police officer, you are a police officer now. You won't be police officer forever. Right. You are a bloody civilian before you get that particular uniform. After 35 years, whether you like it or not, you will come back and meet us as bloody civilians. One of you now, after 35 years, was given 2 million. It was the same journalist that for you, that make IG to say he must look inside that particular case. Some of you, when you are in uniform, and this one is not only to police officer, last man,
everybody.
At least put human being into yourself first. If you see somebody making a call and he parked off the road, even if where he parked is wrong, Mister, I saw you making a call. I know you back.
So make a call.
It's going a long way. That particular person has learned the lesson that even if I want to park, I should look for a good and designated place for parking.
Yes.
Then another thing again is that those people that form tax force, they were forcing tax force not for what you are using it to do. Look at that word, tax force. What they are doing is that there are some certain jobs you shouldn't be doing. What concerns tax force? Be doing road checking. Because at times they'll park, they will not be checking. What concerns them? RRS will park. RRS is not meant for that.
Yeah.
Now, removing the plate number. I know the head of tax force, you don't even hear it. Because one thing that is so certain there is that you don't do that because of what? One thing that you just need to do is not about arresting all the time. And it is the human being in us. You will see tax force that is doing daily contribution, weekly contribution. Last night is also doing. Every uniform man is doing. They want to rake more money at the end of the day. They want to make their own family members to be laughing at home. And you want to make somebody's family. You see some. I've seen a tax force member that said, "She will my shoe." Show my go to the Milati Jerry 4 days ago. And I said they did not blow you. If I like from this vehicle, you can now pick him. You can pick him when I'm here. Because I will follow you to anywhere. So you see that this one, I don't know this man very well. Let him go. I will pick you. And I said you can pick him later. But today, you cannot. I have followed them to Osho separately, especially when I know that particular driver has not done anything wrong. And I put on my phone. I put it 3-4 times. I could remember when Ebeyemi was the head of the tax force. I did that one. Immediately they hear that I mentioned Ebeyemi, I will call him now. It's my brother. I will call him and I just pick up the phone. They saw it that truly Yinka Ebeyemi is on my phone. They have to let us go. There's a particular one also. The man was on the wheel. You stop him. He said he dropped somebody. Count the number of people inside this vehicle. You say he dropped somebody. Who? And that was when they see. Because they normally watch for But one thing there is that our drivers also should follow the law.
They have to be trained.
They should follow the law. Because at times, because if you don't follow the law, all these guys, they will use it to shop. And that's it.
It has even happened bad for me because you know why I can remember only the scenarios because the same yellow bus, the same way you're talking to the drivers, I forgot a meal I prepared with a lot of garnishing turkey and I forgot in the bus. Because the last man stopped us and said we should come down. I forgot my phone.
No, some drivers also they are so serious. How do you see somebody in the express? Somebody will not park in the middle of the road taking passenger go to the same beggar.
No, it was not parking passenger. He was driving. You know, they stop it. They have their lane.
Yes.
So he faulted because I didn't even know the fault. He didn't pass the normal lane. He was passing the lane for all these private cars.
Okay.
So when they stopped him, they didn't say anything to us. So I had to go and meet him. As John why did you stop? I said, no, they're not supposed to pass this lane. The other lane is their lane. I'm so sorry. But with all this sorry, I forgot my phone. So let's leave that one.
Anyway, that's the one that is really blossom. But I want to ask one simple question since we're talking about the police and the, should I call them the downfall drivers in Lagos? Okay. Most times, the police also see these drivers beat the traffic lights. Is it because...
No, they pay.
Okay, they pay the police.
Yes. Because even while I'm sorry to interject.
I'm not asking you anyway.
I know. I just wanted to interject that. That's why I said apologies.
Okay.
Now, even while I was talking about somebody stopping us, the same bus that were stopped in, I saw several of them passing. Like they just hail, they collect some change, and they are moving. And I had to ask the guy, these people that are passing, who are they? He said, no, the driver is a police officer. Or the conductor is a police officer. But I know it's not true because a lot of them were passing. But I noticed that a lot of the buses were diverting and entering the main lane. But so why are you letting people go? Because you're a police officer, so you can flaunt the rules?
Anyway, I need to hear from them.
Let me tell you this thing.
Yeah.
Anytime, if you are a uniform person in Nigeria,
you can flaunt it.
You are above the law.
You are above
the law doesn't apply to you.
Look,
I said it.
Let me tell you, if you want to take a motorcycle from Oshodi to Tollgate, they are still available. Go and see majority of those people that are right.
Oh yes, they are
so start with this one. Then to Oshodi to like they are going everywhere. Then another thing again is this. Look, the way our police officers, not all, are going after money and leaving their own function
responsibilities
is so bad. If you give them, even I ask somebody, I say, come, that person just pass and give money. I said, oh, even if you are carrying heads of human being now, say this one is 200 naira, this one is 100 naira. I went to Itoiki.
What is that?
Exactly.
Towards
okay.
Linking up to Epe.
Okay.
If you know the number of checkpoints, but you know now the way they see my eyes for the first itself, they look around like this, go. Because the way they will see my eyes, you say, what is all this? But it's good to have checkpoints at times, especially in terms of robbery, whatever. They are very, very good. But I saw them; they are doing buying and selling. Although they did not collect money from me, I need to be sincere. They did because so. But one thing that is important there is this: we need to not say because we want to satisfy our own personal family, we make some certain people to cry. It is not good.
Anyways, we have come to the end of the show truly because I wanted to keep asking questions on the Okada, on the Keke drivers, because when I'm driving and I see the way they misbehave,
you belong.
They misbehave, my God.
Nothing will happen to you. But when you don't belong,
this alley roundabout, they are going this way. They will be here at the extreme of the road. No. And then you guys go here. No.
I think that
it's few seconds, please.
Because this is a public platform. People are watching.
Yeah.
The Lagos state officials, LASMA, Lagos
especially
State Transportation, and the police. You need to understand that you are doing significant damage to the fabric of society.
True. Very true.
Yes. Your own officials breaking the law and commercial drivers who settle your officers to jump traffic lights routinely. The point you made is a very valid one. To call them out and demand that they should do the right thing.
Okay, I'm going to call out. I don't know if the custom is from this custom just at Ikeja, but I saw a custom van yesterday. Now, he caused a lot of traffic. He was back riding, I don't know what to call it, reversing, right. And normally, you're not supposed to do that. You know, why was he trying to manage myself, condone myself to back ride? That's reversing where you're supposed to be going this way. I didn't say nothing. I don't know where he entered because I didn't bother because I was like, don't stress me. I'm already stressed. Just after I was getting over that, from the other side, now you're going this way. I saw another one back riding from a far distance to enter into our estate. And I was like, I really needed to cross, but I was on heels. I was so tired. I wanted to why? And they had to stop cars. There was a bunch of traffic down. Why?
Yeah, because like we said earlier, the people that break the law the most in this country are uniformed people.
Anyway,
politicians.
Gentlemen, we have to go. I mean, our time is very up. We have to go. But like you said, we need to call them out. Truly, we need to make sure that rules for driving is not broken. Yeah. Especially with the Keke drivers, the Okada drivers, and the yellow bus drivers. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Let's take it over from there.
Yes, okay. We'll come to the end of the show. I just want to add this. As much as you're trying to break the law, I know you might be out for us, but trust me, there are a lot of times we've been impounded. Our vehicles have been impounded and we pay the fine. So I'm saying this, that everybody out there, you see somebody, trying to break the law, you speak out, you talk to them. They can't do nothing to you because trust me, you are your right. They should not do breaking the traffic law. So anyways, this is me saying we're wrapping up. I'm saying thank you to all the viewers and all the people who called us, sent messages. I'm sorry, we didn't take any of that one today. But thank you so much, Mr. Nuruddin, for being on the show. Thank you, Shopito, for also being on the show. And this is a wrap. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about what's trending on relationship and everything else. See you then. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.